Hello and welcome to week 4 training video. I apologize for the lateness of this video. Hopefully got 15 minutes worth of clips here. As always, this video is not meant to demean, belittle, or show anybody up. It is strictly for educational purposes for officials, coaches, and players. Let's get started. Here's an example of a false start. Anytime a quarterback or an offensive player does abrupt movements like this, if the defense reacts, we want to put this on the quarterback. This is not a football move. It's clearly intended to get a reaction out of the defense, in which case it does early on. Obviously, once the defense starts adapting, they will stop jumping, but just a warning, quarterbacks, when in doubt, if you do something abrupt like this that is not a normal football move, if there's any doubt, we want to put this on the defense. See, the defender is clearly offside. This should be shut down as a false start. Here's another example as well. Very abrupt, quick, jerky movement with his hands. Not a normal football move. If the defense reacts, we want to put this on the offense. False start. Here's a unique play where the question has come up as far as a quarterback giving himself up and down by contact. This is a very unique play. Quarterback is not actually in a fetal position, curling and covering the ball as if he's giving himself up. It's a bad snap. He goes to the knee to pick up the ball, but quickly jumps up and takes off. In the defense's defense, they actually had let up a little bit because he was on the ground and did not want to hit him. So if there is any doubt, referees, and a quarterback is covering a loose ball, let's go ahead and blow this dead. But if he looks like he's trying to pick it up and run at all, then keep it alive. He is allowed to obviously go down and pick it up. But if he's in the fetal position, covering it, giving himself up, shut it down. If he's trying to run, keep it live. If you have any doubt, just make it dead in the name of safety. This here is a block below the waist that we miss on the linebacker. Remember, blocking below the waist is illegal by the 5 interior linemen in the blocking zone on the initial charge with the snap, not in the delayed response. Here the guy cuts the linebacker, delays, and then cuts him. This would be a foul this year in the CFC. Here is a legal block below the waist by the left tackle. All part of the same motion. Here's an interesting play. Basically, when I talk about the mechanics on this, a couple pieces to this. We have a screen play to the side. Line of scrimmage official, rather than back up towards the bench, you'd want to actually retreat back into the backfield. Right now you're about the 20-yard line, so the bench is not behind you yet, but a few more yards it would be. For your own safety, you want to officiate from behind. Players could get pushed into you, so you want to actually retreat backwards, but stay on the line so you can be looking down the line for players stepping out of bounds. Second part to this is, for some reason, the deep official wants to come up, spot the ball. The deep guy should be retreating. Line of scrimmage guy should be coming up, spotting the ball. Deep official, the only time you're spotting the ball is if it's inside the 2-yard line. Line of scrimmage has all spots, the other 98 yards. The exception to that would be a long pass that is over your head is a deep official, and you are coming from behind you can go ahead and stop and grab that spot rather than continuing to run by. But in this case, you should be continuing to retreat and make a note of the yard line in case you have to shout out to your line of scrimmage official, 24, 24, or whatever. But this is the line of scrimmage official spot. Another mechanic issue here. Remember, officials, when we have just one flag, we want to keep the game rolling, so we definitely want to do preliminary signals when we can. If we don't have the 020 communicators, I get that. But get within shouting distance, give them a quick number and their signal, and let's be on our way. We do not have to go all the way in. It's not a loud crowd. So let's just be efficient here. Looks good. Okay, we're the only flag, so should be killing it. Right here, we could be stopping, giving our offside signal, pointing to the left, which should be on defense, telling them number 45 or whichever, and we can go into our penalty enforcement. Instead, at this point, for an offside, we're still talking. And technically, we know they're going to want to take that, so we should already have this marked off. Should be a no-brainer, guys. Not a big deal, but try to be a little more smooth. Any chance you have to give a prelim, let's go ahead with it. Here we have a illegal block in the back on the kickoff. Doesn't look like much, but right at the point of attack, just as the blocker goes by, there's a block with the shoulder right square in the back, and he propels him towards the tackler or towards the runner, but it does knock him off of his path and enough to impact him and possibly being able to make the tackle. So these are ones, even though slight, when they're in chase mode on punts or kickoffs, the contact can be slight if it propels them. So this is one that we would want called. Not able to get his arms around because he's knocked into him. Here's a long pass with an interception. A couple of blocks here that actually are not fouls. Looks like a possible penalty here. And we definitely want to be looking at the guy here going opposite the grain with the potential to hit somebody on the blind side. Okay, so he sees the guy chasing him here. He's got his eye on him. At this point, we want to watch the block. That is actually a side block. Block in the back, we really want to see two hands square in the back. At least one with a good hard push. This would be one we would want to stay away from. And over here, we're going to have one at the end of the play as well. The only thing we really could have here would be a target if he hits him up above the shoulders for a defenseless player because he's pursuing the ball carrier. But the hit here is in the chest, knocks him down. It's probably a necessary hit. It's a rough hit, but it is not a foul. So we would want to stay away from this one as well. It's not a foul for anything other than just a hard hit. Yeah, this one here is an example of a couple of blocks that are not blocks in the back, and then a third one that is a block in the back. Shows how much can happen here on one play, so we definitely want to keep alert and continue to officiate. Here the receiving team blocker has his eye on this guy, again going opposite the grain. Potential for blindside block. If he hits above the shoulders, targeting would be there. Instead, it's just a hard blindside hit. He gets him in the shoulder. No foul. The next piece here, 88. This is actually a member of the kicking team. and he sees his opponent, and same thing, lights him up from the side. Again, not sure it was really necessary, but it's not a personal foul in nature. He hits him from the side. There's nothing here. Now you have a member of the receiving team, and he is in chase mode. Not really chase mode, but he is looking at several guys' backs. Very high potential for him to hit somebody in the back. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 opponents in that area, all with their backs to him. Opposite side could try to pick something like this up, as well as maybe an umpire or the back judge. This one is a foul. He does hit him in the back and knocks him square on his face. Here's an example of what would not be offensive holding, although there's a slight hold, very quick. We often get asked, and players will say, "Did you see that?" or raise their hands up. Something this quick and definitely away from the point of attack is not something we're going to call. It needs to be at the point of attack and really have a restriction to it. As you see, it's quick. Yeah, there might be a slight hold. Ball goes to the other hole. He's already tackled before anything happens. Here's an example of a hold here. Hands are outside the frame of the opponent, and he's actually steering the opponent where he wants him to go because he's got the leverage with his hands outside the frame. This is a guy rushing up the middle, potential to block or bat down the pass, as well as maybe sack the quarterback, so this is one that we would want to get. This is another example of an offensive hold at the point of attack, and you do see the restriction when the second action of taking the opponent's feet away occurs. That is where the foul occurs, and because it is at the point of attack, we do want this called. There's the engage. Here comes the run. Hold. Now he lets him go. The runner's past him. Takes his feet away. Now he lets him go. He's already 2 yards past him. So that is a good call. That's one we would want. Okay, here's a forward pass. There was some question on this play as to whether it was forward or backward. Well, first off, quarterback is standing on the goal line. So when we have a pass that's questionable whether it's forward or backward, we want to take a quick mental note, line judge, head linesman, where his feet are when he throws that ball. Now we want to look at where the ball actually is touched or where it hits the ground here. In this case, it hits the ground at the 2 yard line, clearly forward. Okay? The issue is with some of the players, they may not know. It may not be so obvious that it's forward or backward. And I'm not saying we want to be extra fast on this whistle because we need to read the play as well. But if we know that it is incomplete, we do want to get that shut down quickly to prevent any additional things from occurring here. As far as players, if you're not sure whether a guy is live or not, if he's down in a prone position like this, all you have to do is touch him. We do not have to have a unnecessary hit here. So definitely a play for everybody to learn from. But this is a forward incomplete pass. It's a deep pass. Just looking at the mechanics by the deep official here. Another example where this is actually a line of scrimmage official spot. We would want to continue to officiate and not, now that he's caught the ball here, we don't have to sprint back, but we should still be backing off a little bit. Once he catches it, okay, we can stop and settle for a second. But once you have the flag and the play is over, hold the spot. You know, he's at the 49. Let the linesman come down. Let them spot it at the 49. And then you can veer into the referee and tell me you have a face mask at the end of the run. You're going to tack it on. And it's that simple. We can simply, he'll look at where the line of scrimmage official is and we'll add 15 to it. Instead, we come in, line of scrimmage official and deep official are on the same line, and at one point the umpire's within a yard of, and we got three of you all standing in a straight line within a few yards of each other. So let's be a little bit sharper. And again, deep officials, the only time you have the spots is when the ball is inside the 2. Remember, as far as our penalty enforcement here, this is a tack on, guys. We have a long pass that's caught. We have a face mask. We should simply be tacking on 15. Okay, we just haven't even started walking it off yet, and he just finished with this signal. So we want to be a little bit sharper on our penalty enforcement. That's our time to shine. This is an excellent get here on a interception. We have a block below the waist on the offense. I'm sorry, on the defense. Now the receiving team. Right after the interception. Good focus. One thing I would suggest, deep official, don't be in a hurry to get out in front of the play in case this guy reverses field and ends up back to your sideline. You want to continue to officiate from behind just as line of scrimmage officials do. But good get, good focus, and way to be alert. Last play here, it's great overall whistle control and an example of being down by contact or not being down. No one's touching him. He's gone down, caught the pass, quickly jumps up and takes off. Would have been easy to shut this down as our normal mechanics. This is good focus, good whistle control, and good overall mechanics. Nice job. This concludes week 4 training video. Thank you for watching. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me and be happy to get back to you. For those working this weekend, have a great game. Good luck to coaches, players, and officials.